In the journey of faith, a lot of times the ladder by which we enter into manifestation is words. And what is words? The promises that God gives to us. That's how we enter into manifestations. God said to Abraham, go, I will show you a land. They will say, what? Go, I will show you a land. You can't be in faith and there's no word. You and I must have access to the word of the Lord, which is the Bible. If you are a believer in Jesus Christ and you're walking in faith, but you don't have the Bible inside of you, you're walking in wishes and hopes. And so it's important that the word that you have received as a journey of faith, you learn to wage a war with it on a daily basis so that you can enter into the manifestations of these words. Every time God gives you a word concerning any area of your life, attempt to find out the timing of this word. Sometimes God can speak about something that he wants to do in 10 years and you may think it's this year. And so there's an urgency in your heart to see it. Meanwhile, God in his own heart, he wants to do it maybe a decade later. And so you may stretch in faith for 1 year. You notice that you're not seeing it in 1 year. You get weary, you get tired. Meanwhile, God had earmarked to do it for 10 years. So every time God gives you a prophetic word, you can ask him, Lord, what's the timing for this prophetic word? Is it a noun thing? If it's a noun thing, then you engage with the mindset of now. If it's a 10 years since, you can engage, but this time adding it as your confessions. But when it's a noun thing, you will know that the urgency with which you approach something that the Lord has said to you now is different from how you approach something that God has said to you 10 years later. So if God says to you by this time tomorrow, that's a definite timing. So what do you do with the word? You hold the word and every watch. Thank you, Lord, because by this time tomorrow I'm doing this, I'm doing that. So you are watching with God because God has said you by this time tomorrow. You don't go and sleep prosecuting prophetic words.